of this very moment, I have read 195 books so far this year, and I don't really know what this video is going to be about. It's just something I wanted to talk about because I feel like that should be celebrated. Last year I read 222 books to be specific, and I don't go out of my way to reach that number. That's just how much I read. I'm in the industry, so part of it is work. And I work from home, so it's a lot easier for me to fit this time in. And I also get sent so many books that I try to get through as many as possible, and I still have 600 maybe that I haven't read, physical books. So it's a lot, and I think I've done videos before. It's like how I do this, and it's not really something you can advise on, because it's just like my life circumstances allow me to do that, to read that much. And I'm also a mood reader, and I will always recommend that, because I have very rarely ever gotten into a reading slump because I mood read only. Like, I only read what I'm in the mood for, which is why I read like 4 books at once. Like right now I'm reading 𝙃𝙚𝙧𝙀 by 𝙁𝙧𝙀, but I'm also reading an audiobook about there's like true crimes called Mindhunter, and I'm more in the mood to listen to Mindhunter right now than to read 𝙃𝙀𝙧𝙀. So like, you know, things like that, that's what really helps me get through stuff. It also, like, because the moods are so different, I don't get lost in any of them. Like, I'm not reading like 3 different romances at once, for example, you know. So I'm really able to focus on each one and like not get things mixed up or anything. Saying that, it's still like my goal that I had for this year was 100. Obviously I beat that a long time ago. I'm also very mentally ill and had a lot of health problems this year, like physical health problems, so it is genuinely therapeutic to me. I haven't been in therapy for a couple of months. I'm going back next week, and reading is that for me, and I think reading is that for most people. I wanted to do a little bit of a like my favorites so far, or like my least favorites so far, but I do think I'm gonna do like full videos on that at the end of the year, because I do think it's just easier to do a whole roundup rather than here are some of them. We're not, you know, at like mid-year, so it doesn't really make any sense. I will say I think this year has been a great year of new books, a great year of me like finishing a lot of personal tasks and goals, which is something I'll touch on in a second, in terms of like what I'm reading, who I'm reading, what books I've read. And I also don't do any of it for social media. Like, even though I have a bookstagram and like YouTube and everything, and that's part of my job, I'm not actually reading anything for social media or for people, even if they send them to me, because that will put you into a slump. Like, being forced to read something will put you into a slump. There's a book I have to read this week for work, and I have 1 day to do it, and I haven't even started it. Because I'm just like, I don't want to do that. I'm not in the mood, but I have to, so I will today. But you know, that's something that will actively put you in a slump if you are only doing that and not mood reading, you know, etc. So the goals thing that I wanted to talk about was, there's like, I had a viral video on like goals that I'm doing, and I'm doing Goodreads, Storygraph, Pagebound. I think that's it, because well, I say Pagebound, but the thing is Pagebound doesn't really have like goals the way that, like, challenges the way that Goodreads and Storygraph does, so I'm not really actively doing that one. But I do love Pagebound anyway, so I will just mention it. But yeah, Goodreads and Storygraph are my main ones. 𝙃𝙀𝙧𝙀 is actually one of the books that I'm currently reading, which will tick off a Storygraph goal. The Storygraph one is hard in comparison to the Goodreads one, in my opinion. Goodreads have like different ones, like literally like 10 different ones every like Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 of the year, whereas Storygraph is like year long, which is how hard it is because they're kind of like not as easy to tick off. But I like that about both of them. I like how different they are. Goodreads just released their Q4 ones and they're really good. I'm actually really excited to get through them. I mean, only 2 themed ones have been released, but I'm excited to see the rest because those 2 are pretty good. So it also just makes me like things like that, like the Goodreads one, because they're so like every few months, really makes me go through like the physical books I have, because I don't, unless they're on my desk, which is like you're literally balancing against this stack right now, I don't see my physical books until I read them, and so I forget which ones I have, or like not forget, but it's kind of like, oh my god, yeah, I've had this for ages, I need to pick this up kind of thing, and it makes you tick things off like that. So it's great in that sense. And also, I'm not one to blow smoke up Goodreads arse. I have a love-hate relationship. I hate that they've brought ads in now. I just they're literally just cash grabbing every little place they can, but alas, what you gonna do? I have such an incredible, like, this is my dream to have this many books. It's insane. I will show you. Yes, okay, I'm watching Bob's Burgers. What's new? This is the stack you're against. This is another stack, and then I have 2 stacks down there, and then you can't really see it, but over here are 1, 2, 3, I think it's 3 stacks, and they're 4 books deep. This is not even including audiobooks and ebooks. Ebooks especially are quite like stressful to get through because they're usually arcs, so I'm on deadlines. So usually if I'm on deadlines, I don't really give a shit most of the time. I'm just like, because some of them will expire, so I'll just read them afterwards. Like I'll find like them secondhand, and then I'll still review them on the sites that you have to give the reviews on. But I also don't force myself to go through that. I think that also can put people in slumps. So yeah, I'm really very grateful. Like there's just so much that I'm so excited to go through. There's so much that I'm so like eager to read, and that's how I read so much. I think because of the way that I read, I don't get in reading slumps, which maintains the passion and eagerness that I have. Whereas if I was in a reading slump, I'd be like, I don't want to read anything, you know? So I totally understand that. And yeah, oh, I forgot to show you that as well. There's another. I've read those, but that's a collection of books I have. And then all the books that I have read, you're probably wondering where they are. They're all in here, some up here, and some up here. Stress. Saying that, aside from getting sent stuff, I only buy books secondhand. It's hard because I am so actively like, authors need to get paid fairly, etc, etc. I think also if someone is an indie author, okay, my camera get out. As I was saying, yeah, I buy a lot secondhand, mostly secondhand, 99% secondhand, and that's because, one, finances. Books are expensive these days, especially in the US. I mean, I'm not based in the US, but y'all prices are crazy. Secondly, giving to charity, it's a good cause. And thirdly, sustainability. I think there's so much waste and there's so much greed, especially in this niche, in this industry. Like the amount of people who are like literally desperate for proofs of books or special editions of books it's like, you don't need it, you just don't. And special editions, I don't understand the appeal, but I'm not shitting on people who like them, like, fair enough. I just don't ever think that will be anything I am ever into. I get that they're beautiful, they're so beautiful, I completely understand that, but having 5 copies of the same book I think is insane. And like, if I say if there are 1,000 if there are 1,000 people who are having 5 copies of the same book, I can buy secondhand and I'm not gonna feel bad about it. I think there's also a case of like those people, especially as someone who has experience in the industry, there's a lot of, and I don't think it's all of them, but I do think there's a lot of, again, like cash grab, money grab, buy this special edition, buy this pre-order, and it's not like the usual $9.99, but you like get it's special because you get it for, you know, things like that. And it's just rubbish in my opinion. And I don't say that as a critique on people who buy those. I say that as a critique of people who do that and sell those. Saying that, all that to say, I'm gonna be doing a sustainability giveaway in a few weeks, with a bunch of other creators who I love dearly. I have like 2 tote bags, 15 bookmarks, 100,000 stickers, 1 ARC. I give mine away all the time, so I don't have any others, but I have 1 ARC that I don't, I have copies for some reason, someone sent me 2, and things like that. So many goodies and gifts. And I think also when there's a lack of accessibility in the shit show that was things like Bookfest, you can see my video on that on my channel on here and on TikTok and Instagram. Full depth and explanation though is on YouTube. There's so many problems in the industry that I wish I could just solve in an absolute instant, if I'm being completely honest with you. Accessibility, the cash grab, the lack of sustainability, etc. And so this is my little way of kind of starting that with a bunch of big creators who want to do the same. Like, this is really important to us. So yeah, I will be giving away a bunch of stuff that I just don't use. They've been sent to me, but I don't use bookmarks, you know, it's like, for example, and I'm never going to use some of those stickers, etc, etc. So that's one thing. I think the point of this is a little bit of a rant, rather than how to, or like what to do, or like etc etc. I think it's more just the reality of reading so much, being in the industry, being in the niche, everything that comes with it. I think there's a lot, and I don't think it's all bad at all. I think it's actually really lovely and good, and I'm very grateful. And but I do think we can do better, and I want to be part of that, not group, but like, you know, I want to be one of those people who does that. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So yeah, look out for that. And then in a few months we'll talk about my favorites and my least favorites. And I mean, I think I post like on my Instagram story like once a month my favorite from each month, Let me find that 1 second. Okay, I've got it. Let's have a look. So like this is something that I posted. This is not like all my favorites, but it's my favorites of each month so far up until July, because I forgot to do this for August and we're still in September. But my favorite from January was the Nervous System Reset. My favorite from February was Beg, Borrow and Steal, Sarah Adams, I Love You, Love My Life. March, Complications in Paris, Melinda Kopp, I Love You. April, Babel, great book. May, Two Can Play. June, Sour Cherry, amazing book. And July, The Spirit Bears Its Teeth, just amazing book. But I have so many favorites. I have so many 5 stars, and I don't think I even decided what my favorite from August is, or obviously September, even though we're near the end of it, which is just fucking nuts to me. I don't even want to talk about that. So those are some top ones. Doesn't mean they're actually like the top ones. Those are just my favorites so far. So yeah, that's a little sneak peek. I post that on my Instagram, so I think like that's fine to like share, and like I'll go way more in depth at the end of the year. And also like I do that every month, but it may change by the end of the year. Like I might have reflected on something and be like, you know what, I actually really didn't like that at all, or actually I love that more than I thought I did. Oh, I didn't sleep last night because people were fucking partying to ABBA outside until 3 in the morning. I don't even have energy to be upright at 8 p.m. So like what are we doing? Anyways, that's my little rant, little sneak peek of what's to come. I am getting to a place where I'm being more organized. I promise, I swear. With my YouTube, with all content, I promise. I know I've been saying it for a while, but I really am on it now. I'm getting on it. It's gonna be better. It's gonna be good. I'm very excited about it. Again, I know I've been saying it for a while, but I really do mean it. And yeah, I would follow me on Instagram and TikTok, especially Instagram though, if you're into book stuff specifically, because I do often discuss things on there, post about some things that I've read. Again, I could do more of that. I feel like I talk a lot about it the most on here. But yeah, that's my little think piece of today. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon in my next video. Bye.